If we're in Christ, the Apostle Paul says this, and this comes from 2 Corinthians 10, 3 through 5. He says, "For though we walk in the flesh, we are not waging war according to the flesh, because we would lose." I added that part. But he continues, "For the weapons of our warfare are not of the flesh, but have divine power to destroy strongholds. We destroy arguments and every lofty opinion raised against the knowledge of God, and take every thought captive to obey Christ." We need to learn our hot buttons. What are our triggers? What are the things after we examine ourselves? And then we need to go follow through with this, and not to wage war with the flesh, but instead understand it's a spiritual battle, and to to ask God to show us, to help us to destroy these strongholds. So therefore we can destroy all these arguments and every lofty opinion raised against the knowledge of God. And that we can take captive every thought to obey Christ. 2 Peter 1, 5 through 7 says something interesting, following the line of how to de-escalate a situation, by the way. First thing I said was, ask yourself the two questions. What is the perceived threat or issue? Is it real or is it ego? Second one, learn your hot buttons. Is it fear-based or faith-based? Gave you two scriptures and a bunch of ideas for that. 2 Peter has another connecting idea. Peter said this in 2 Peter 1, 5 through 7. He says, "For this reason, make every effort to supplement or add to your faith with virtue, and virtue with knowledge, and knowledge with self-control, and self-control with steadfastness, and steadfastness with godliness, and godliness with brotherly affection, and brotherly affection with love." Make every effort to add to supplement your faith with virtue and knowledge and self-control and steadfastness and godliness and brotherly affection. You see, what we're supposed to do is not to just sit in our faith and just say, "Oh, I'm a Christian and now I'm just going to heaven." Instead, we need to trust God with every part of our being, and we need to even add to our faith these virtues and this knowledge and the self-control piece and the steadfastness piece and the godliness piece and the brotherly affection piece. So how can we do this? Let's continue on. Here's the third thing I would add to that. Remember that every human being deserves that every human being deserves dignity. Every human being deserves dignity.